Good afternoon and welcome to Mustang Game Day. We got a packed show here for you today as we get you ready for Cal Poly women's basketball versus the CSUN Matadors. I'm Ryan Giacomini.
And I'm Jocelyn Jimenez. And to start off the show, let's take a look at the conference standings. The Mustangs currently have a 5-8 record in the Big West and are on a one-game losing streak after falling to Cal State Fullerton on Thursday night. From the looks of it right now, they are holding on to the last spot in the Big West playoff tournament as a number 8 seed. That position gives them a narrow path to the postseason, but there is still time to make a run. With 7 games left of the season, out of the 7 teams that they're in line to play, there are 3 teams with a losing record, which presents a real opportunity for the Mustangs to pick up some much-needed wins. Hawaii, who sits on the top in the Big West, is on a 12-game win streak. The Mustangs fell to them after traveling across the Pacific just last week. UC Santa Barbara and Long Beach State are both tied for 5th place in the Big West right now, 2 teams that Cal Poly actually defeated earlier this season. Those wins really give the Mustangs confidence, showing that they are capable of beating teams that are in the upper half of the standings. If they can carry that momentum from those wins into the final stretch, they could make a real push for a higher seed and strengthen their position in the tournament race. The Mustangs have been pretty balanced this season when it comes to their home and away games. With 5 wins at home and 5 wins on the road, that consistency shows that they are capable of competing no matter the setting. With a few games left, continuing that balance will be key. These next games are going to be crucial for the Mustangs if they want a guaranteed spot in the postseason. With teams dropping and others climbing higher up in the standings, anything can happen in these final weeks.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Jocelyn. The Mustangs need to have a strong finish to the season. You mentioned 7 games remaining. Want to see them win at least 5 of those, just guarantee that spot in the postseason. Make sure you stay with us. We're going to go to a short break, but when we sit down, we're going to have Cal Poly star point guard Annika Shaw sit down with us. We'll ask her a couple questions about her career as well as the season.
It's the peak of birthing and mating season at the Elephant Seal Rookery in San Simeon, and the beach has become both a nursery and a boxing ring. Along the beach, you'll find mothers nursing their pups and males fighting for a chance to mate. The mothers will nurse their pups for about 4 weeks before mating again and returning to the sea. Mature males will fight for territory and for females to mate with before they leave. Friends of the Elephant Seal is a nonprofit organization focused on education and conservation. Docent Paul Orton says that the status is the main reason for the fighting.
The beta males have their trying to keep their position on the beach down by the tide line, and the males, the alpha male, he typically is in the middle of the harem, up on the between all the females.
Jason Bonilla is a first-time visitor. He drove 2 hours to get to the rookery and says it was worth the drive.
Oh yeah, it's very intriguing. It's really, I think one particular thing that I find really fascinating is hearing the different sounds that they make and what those may be. And it's really humorous, actually.
For more information about the Elephant Seals or Friends of the Elephant Seal, visit elephantseal.org. For Mustang News, I'm Jenica Ortiz.
Welcome back to Mustang Game Day right here in the Mott Athletic Center on the Central Coast. Right now we have joining us the leader in 3-pointers made in the Big West, Annika Shaw. Ani, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
So it being your final season here at Cal Poly, taking a look back, what can you say about the program and how it's shaped you as a player?
Yeah, I mean, I've loved my entire 4 years here at Cal Poly. There's no other place I'd want to be. It's kind of surreal, just the time has been ticking and my time here is almost up, but just trying to enjoy every single moment. And looking back, I'm just so grateful for every little good and bad moment I've been through, even adversity that has shaped me into the person I am today. Like, I couldn't be more grateful for it and just my entire experience here at Cal Poly.
Ani, you're 23rd in the nation in 3-pointers made. Just talk about your career here and how you've improved your game year in, year in, year.
Yeah, I think just growing up, being someone that was kind of always underlooked, I've always kind of had that chip on my shoulder. And so every single year, I always know that there's a lot of things that I can do better, and I'm always studying the game and trying to see areas that I can improve. So every year, it's like once the season ends, okay, take a couple days off maybe to get my body to rest, but then it's go time to get better and become better for my team.
You've hit so many milestones in your career, but reaching 1,000 career points against Long Beach State, that one's huge. What was that moment like for you? What were you feeling? Tell me about it.
Yeah, I mean, leading up to it, I didn't really know previous games how close I was, but just kind of right before, I had some family friends that told me how close I was. I had no idea, and then I kind of checked in with Connor SID just to see where I'm at, but it's a huge milestone, and something that I said with my team after is just, with 1,000 points, there's always 1,000 other moments, 1,000 people or moments with other people that have contributed to those 1,000 points. So it's never just a solo achievement. It's something I did with my teammates. So, it was a great feeling. I wasn't counting or anything during the game, but after I kind of hit that buzzer beater, I looked at my family and they kind of gave me the signal that I hit it. So it was a fun moment, and it was nice that I could kind of take it in right there.
Such a special moment for you. You guys have 7 games left, currently hold the last spot to make the tournament. What do you guys think you need to do in these 7 games to really make sure that you get that tournament spot and you have a chance to win it and go to the national championship?
Yeah, I mean, well, first of all, there's a lot of things we need to clean up, and specifically for games that we should be winning, like tonight, we have to win those games. And so we really have to lock into every little detail and be able to put together everything that our coaches are telling us for our opponents and actually execute the game plan. We've been having some slip-ups here and there and some scoring droughts that's really been hurting us, but also really locking into our defense, because our defense has always been our identity, and recently we haven't been playing the best defense. So, us leaders have to continue to be, the second coaches on the court and lead our team, but we just got to keep chipping away and keep cleaning up a lot of things, but we have a real shot at this, and I believe that we can make a great run in the tournament. So first we got to get there and lock into these games that we have here and on the road games, these last 6-7 games that we have, but I believe in this team, and I believe that we have a real shot at this.
Yeah, I see the pink on you tonight. It's a breast cancer awareness game. What does that kind of mean to the team? Because I know Alana's been posting about it on Instagram. Can you just tell me a little about that? Yeah,
well, we had Gabby, Alana, and Mary been ambassadors for the Tough Like Tammy campaign. I personally don't know Tammy Blackburn, but I know she's huge in the Big West, and she's a real advocate for breast cancer awareness and someone who's fighting herself. And it's such a great cause. I personally have a lot of family members that have been through breast cancer and just other types of cancer, and it's something that's super, super important. So this game means a lot to me, and it means a lot to our team, because we're going to be representing something greater than ourselves.
Hey, you guys, your team composition is a little weird. You guys have 8 freshmen and then 8 returning players. Yeah. Talk about how you and Sydney, both Sydneys, and Sierra and Mary have been able to take the younger players under your wing this year and help them grow as players.
Yeah, well, first of all, it hasn't been easy, but it's something that I would say we've failed a couple times at it, but we continue to learn and grow our leadership. I would say us 6, putting Mary in there too, just playing significant minutes after her freshman year. Coach Stars is always in all of our ears, so we just have to make sure that we're all on the same page and that we can reiterate all the things that Coach Stars is saying. So I still think we can do a much better job, but I'm really proud for everyone for stepping up, and being a leader is something that you have to hold really strong and hold high, but it's a great responsibility to have.
All right, well, thank you so much, Annika, for being here, and good luck today.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for having me.
Make sure to stick around after the break, as we'll be diving into some key players that the Mustangs have on this squad.
Kate Armstrong, local singer-songwriter, started in a band while she was at Cal Poly and now continues to grow in the music scene.
That was my senior year of Cal Poly. I was the lead singer, and there was 4 other guys that I was playing with, and yeah, it was just such a beautiful introduction to the music scene.
She was awarded a New Times Music Award for Best Songwriter in 2024.
It's really just an honor to be recognized for something I love to do.
When asked about what inspires her lyrics, she answered,
Straight from the heart, whatever it is that I'm feeling or experiencing.
After some time as a solo artist, Kate has decided to join a band once again.
You're starting kind of like a trio band situation to write new music together, but also support the music that I already have. There still aren't that many like women in the scene, especially like women-fronted bands. So I think that's what's really exciting to collaborate with Edmund and Griffin in this way, is they're so supportive of me and my music.
I feel like the band is kind of like a culmination of the friendship, you know, in a lot of ways. We all come from really different musical backgrounds. I think Kate is known for her like exceptional songwriting, and just like I think we all just like a bunch of different styles of music.
I would say the music style is like a culmination of a lot of things, you know, from folk to jazz to, you know, R&B, soul, even gospel. Like I think there's really cool little bits and pieces. You know, whatever we all did to like get here at this moment, I am so grateful to be part of it.
For Mustang News, I'm Sedona Harris.
Welcome back into Mall Athletic Center, and with just a handful of games remaining in the season, the Mustangs will need some big performances from their top players. Let's take a closer look at who some of those players are.
Yeah, those three players in today's game specifically for me are Annika Shaw, Sierra Lichty, and Ashley Hiraki. Those three players, they're all going to start tonight. They're all going to get big minutes, and they're all going to be key contributors in the game today. Let's first take a look at Sierra Lichty and how she's been performing this season. You guys can see right there, she's averaging just under 10 points per game, but in her last 9 games since she's returned from injury, she started all 9, and she's averaging about 12 points per game. So that average has been rising and rising and rising. Not to mention, in those 9 games, she's shooting a really impressive 54.7% from the field, where in the 12 games prior to that where she suited up, she was shooting just 37%. So on top of scoring more, she's being more efficient, and she's providing more opportunities. She's 17th in the Big West in points per game, 7th in rebounds per game. So she really hustles on the boards. She uses her rebounding ability to translate into the offense, whether it be an offensive rebound or she gets a defensive rebound, finds Shaw, finds Borland or Richards, and they move the ball up the court quickly. The next player we're going to dive into is Ashley Hiraki. She's one of those players where her stats aren't going to show up on the score sheet. She does a lot of the things. She does the dirty work. She does the stuff that you might not mention throughout the game. Her impact is still huge, however. The graduate student spent 4 years at Santa Clara, where she averaged just over 6 points per game and added 3 rebounds and 2.2 assists. One of the many struggles that the Mustangs faced last season was that they didn't have a true point guard, and that's what Hiraki provides for the Mustangs this season. She provides someone who can handle the ball. She also allows Shaw to play off the ball, which Shaw prefers to do, where she can run off a couple of screens and get her shots where she wants it. Speaking of Shaw, she's going to be our last impact player today. We just sat down with her, and you heard a little bit about her this season, but she's been the best option for the Mustangs offensively. She's 3rd in the Big West in points per game, 5th in the Big West in field goal percentage, 3rd in three-point field goal percentage, 1st in three-pointers made, and 1st in three-pointers per game. She was an honorable mention in the Big West last year, and just based on what I just read you, she will most likely be all Big West first team, or she will be even Big West Player of the Year. She's had 6 games this year where she scored 20 or more points, and in those games, the Mustangs are 5-1. So her having a good night offensively does translate to winning for this Mustang squad. We'll see if they can get her going early and get her going often and allow her to get to that 20-point mark where they become very successful. Speaking of Shaw, as you heard earlier, she just hit 1,000 career points earlier this season, and one of our reporters, Anthony Molson, had a chance to sit down with Shaw and reflect on what that meant to her.
This season, Annika Shaw etched her name into Cal Poly women's basketball history by joining the prestigious 1,000 Point Club. She did so in dramatic fashion, with the buzzer beater at the end of the first quarter in a game against Long Beach on January 25th.
To be honest, the only thing that was really focused on my mind was getting that win. But having that buzzer beater shot, I did look at my family in that moment, and that's kind of when I knew, they gave me the signal that I hit 1,000. So it was a good moment that I could kind of soak in everything that was put into all those moments, all those 1,000 points, because something that I said in the locker room was like, all those 1,000 points contributes to 1,000 moments that I celebrated with my teammates or, did with someone else.
In her 4th season with Cal Poly, Shaw has grown tremendously both on and off the court.
Annika is just the ultimate competitor. She's such a great role model for other young players and really for our team. She's somebody who is constantly in the gym, working on her game, and I think it really does set the tone for the rest of our ladies and our team and our program. I think where she's really grown, she's matured in a way where she understands that it's about team success, and I think that she has such a great heart for her team and her teammates, and she wants to deliver this year for us and lead us to a Big West championship.
Hitting the milestone in her final season, she looks back at how far she has grown since coming to San Luis Obispo as a freshman.
When you hit a milestone like that, it automatically kind of takes you back to think about, your first day here as a freshman and all that time and that work that was put into all these moments leading up to a milestone like that. And, I think coming into this later half of season, there's a lot of reflecting that's going on because the time is kind of ticking and soon it's going to be over, but learning to enjoy every single moment. And I'm kind of one of those people, I don't really get sad on reflecting on how fast my time here has been, but enjoying every little moment that I have left and being grateful for every moment that I had previously.
With 8 games left in the season, Shaw is also within reach of the Cal Poly women's basketball season 3-point record, needing 27 more to snap the program record. For Mustang News Sports, I'm Anthony Molson.
Shaw is actually the first player in 7 years to reach the milestone of 1,000 career points in Cal Poly women's basketball. And we'll be back right after this break.
Number 869.
I came to the event because it's Black History Month. I want to be surrounded by Black people. I want to eat good food. They said they had games and music, and I had no class today, so I was like, you know what? I might as well do something productive and surround myself with good vibes.
And with the community here, it's just no matter what, they see me as a human being, and I just feel acknowledged and welcomed no matter where I am.
It means a lot, actually, seeing a lot of Black people, successful Black people, especially this is such a hard school to get into, intelligent, funny, great community, it means a lot to me. I feel like a lot of people don't know how much of a contribution Black people and the Black community has made to America, and our inventions, our innovations, everything, even our culture, the way people, down to the way people dress, the jewelry and everything. I feel like it just needs to be acknowledged and needs to be celebrated.
And a lot of people don't believe that we exist, and especially on this campus, we see that there's a lack of us, a lack of visibility and transparency. So I think it's actually so important.
Right now, I think we're maybe 1% around that number. So just having more people come here would be amazing. I kind of wish that talking about these cultural centers in general, not just BASE, was more involved in bigger events like WOW or open house, because coming here as a student and touring and seeing these spaces would have been amazing to know that there is a space for me here, and it made the transition to from high school to college a little bit easier. I will say that.
For Mustang News, I'm Lauren Quijano.
Welcome back inside the Mott Athletic Center. We're about 70 minutes away from tip-off as the Mustangs will host the Matadors in a really important matchup. Let's talk a little bit about today's matchup. The Matadors come into the game with just 4 wins, 2 of those coming in the Big West. They're led by a trio of Erica Espajo, Kelly Tumlin, and Morgan Edwards, who all average more than 9 points per game. Despite being the worst team in the Big West defensively and having a bottom 3 offense, they're one of the best rebounding teams in the entire conference. They have a ton of height. They average just under 39 rebounds a game, which is 4 more than the Mustangs. And that might not sound like a wide margin, but 4 rebounds is 4 extra opportunities. That could lead to 6, 8 points, and that could be the swing of a game a lot of times in basketball. As well, they are 3rd in the Big West in offensive rebounding. So not only are they getting it done on the defensive end, are also getting it done on the offensive boards with averaging just about 12 a game. Again, that's 12 extra opportunities. The Mustangs sit right around 9. So a little bit of an advantage for the Matadors there. With that being said, CSUN is also the worst team in the Big West in turnovers. They turn the ball over almost 21 times a game. So in my opinion, to keep the Matadors off the glass, what they should do is they should pressure the Mustangs, or pressure the Matadors full court, force early turnovers, force some easy offense, and keep that rolling throughout the game. It just provides a lot of good offense.
Stick around after the break as we'll be talking to head coach Chanel Stiers right when we get back.
The City of San Luis Obispo is budget planning for the next fiscal cycle. As part of this budget planning process, they are deciding on major city goals to help inform their budget. One of them being neighborhood livability.
In general, for instance, I was up until 2:30 in the morning last night because of all of the noise surrounding our home.
Walker gave public comment at the goal-setting session to inform the city of fraternity houses operating outside of the designated zone, which are affecting her standard of life.
So I'm hoping that the city will create a program, hire a code enforcement officer that can follow through and stop the operations and get these fraternities located in legal zones.
Vice Mayor Shoresman spoke about making housing and neighborhood livability a major city goal to inform the eventual budget.
I look forward to hopefully having a few more resources at our disposal and dedicated staff time to do those coordinated efforts.
City Council previously received input from a community survey and a forum about the city's priorities.
We try really hard as a city to engage with the community and give them the opportunity to tell us what they think our major city goals and priorities should be. And it's always great to kind of come together with all of that information.
The City Council will discuss the major city goals again and the next steps in the budget planning process in April. Jeremy Garza, Mustang News.
Welcome back to Mustang Game Day, and now joining us we have Cal Poly women's basketball head coach and former WNBA player Chanel Stiers.
Coach, thanks so much for sitting down with us, taking some time to answer some questions. Last year, this is your third season with the Mustangs. Last year you were able to lead them to the WNIT tournament. What's the goal for this season?
Well, right now I think we've not played our best basketball consistently to put ourselves in position to maybe qualify for a WNIT berth at this point, unless we, are fortunate enough to win the remainder of our games. So right now we're focused on getting to Las Vegas and making sure that we can compete for a Big West championship. So those are really our short-term goals, is making sure that we put ourselves in position so that we're still playing in March.
Yeah, so far in our show, we featured some of the players that will be playing in their last season here at Cal Poly. What do those players like Annika, both Sydney's, and Ashley say about the program?
Well, I think that they have absolutely committed themselves to, every facet of our program, and those kids are the kind of young ladies that I think everybody that has children want their children to grow up and be like. Annika, it's been spectacular to watch her just blossom as an individual talent. Obviously and I've said this since we got here 3 years ago, I think she's the most skilled player in the Big West. She's somebody that has just committed herself with so much passion and pride to develop her game. And Sydney Borland really is the heart and soul of our team. She's gritty, she's tough, and she's an incredible leader. Sydney Richards is another one who, we were fortunate enough to get out of the transfer portal a couple years back. Played her first 2 years at San Jose State, and she's really matured. She's somebody who I think still has her best basketball out in front of her, and we're looking for her to really get it going. I think she's a real X factor to this whole thing in terms of taking our team to the next level. And I would say the same thing about Ashley Haraki, who also came to us out of the portal from Santa Clara. Haraki missed most of the preseason with some foot issues, and I think that made it difficult for her to gel with the team. We've had about a month and a half with her back being healthy, and she's been absolutely instrumental in some big wins for us. But kind of like we mentioned with Sydney Richards, she's really got to take her game to the next level. She's capable of doing that, and I think those 4 seniors are absolutely critical in us making a postseason run.
Yeah, you guys have a pretty senior-heavy starting lineup.
Yeah.
But what do you think the 2 players in the starting lineup with Mary and Sierra can do to help propel the younger players to play the best basketball they can in these last 7 games, help you guys win, and then be impactful next year?
Well, you saw Mary Carter go out, last year and earn all Big West freshman team nod, right? She had a tremendous freshman season, and she's matured and she's really grown. But like a lot of sophomores, they hit a period where teams have navigated defending her at a higher level. So what we've been doing in practice is really trying to help her diversify her portfolio. She came to us as primarily a set jump shooter, and obviously that's still the strength of her game, but she's adding dimensionality to her game. And here in the home stretch, she's absolutely critical because she's got tremendous talent to take her game to the next level as well. And then Sierra Litkey, I really feel like probably has the most complete floor game of anyone on our team. Where she's maybe coming up a bit short is she's got to add consistent three-point shooting to what she's doing, but she really gives us an inside-out punch. She passes the ball well. She's kind of a point forward for us and really helps orchestrate, I think, a lot of things. And she's been tremendous on the glass. I think, you know, when we think back to the first time we played Northridge, she had a double-double, and she was really, really a beast on the glass. So we're expecting big things from her tonight, and obviously those key players got to play well for us down the stretch if we're gonna get this thing to Vegas.
Thank you so much for joining us, Coach. We appreciate it, and good luck today.
Thanks for having us. Go Mustangs.
Game tips off in about an hour. We got a couple more minutes where we're going to give you everything else you need to know, including our 3 keys to victory for today's game.
On Friday, February 7th, the San Luis Obispo Botanical Garden hosted a talk on Central Coast fungi featuring mycologist Christian Schwarz. Schwarz had the chance to share his research into ongoing biodiversity investigations in the state of California involving all things mushrooms. His lecture covered recent discoveries, ongoing research, and the future of fungi conversation in California.
I'm excited to get people tuned into biodiversity, is that it's a way of connecting to your own senses, of connecting to the natural world, learning how ecology works. There's no intermediary. It's just you going out and having a firsthand experience of what's happening out there, what's alive out there, what makes your county special. And it's something that you can take with you no matter where in the world you go.
Lecturers like Christian give the San Luis Obispo Botanical Garden a chance to flex its muscles when it comes to showcasing opportunities surrounding biodiversity. Jen Prodzinski, the education director at the San Luis Obispo Community Garden, expresses her opinions on how she feels these events impact the future of the garden and how people can learn from it.
It is an opportunity for people to go in depth in science and in nature and really learn from the best that there is.
If you're interested in learning more about the fungi of California or interested in finding your own possible mushrooms at the Botanical Garden, you can visit their website at slowbg.org. Reporting for Mustang News, I'm RJ Pollock.
Thank you all for sticking around. We are just about an hour away from tip-off, but as the Mustangs gear up to take on the Matadors, there are just a few key things that they'll need to focus on if they want to come up on the win tonight. A really big emphasis is taking care of the ball. Turnovers have been a constant issue all season long. We saw it Thursday night against Cal State Fullerton. The Mustangs turned the ball over 19 times, and the Titans capitalized with 20 points off turnovers alone. The Mustangs will need to do a better job of taking care of the ball if they want to be successful in today's matchup.
As well, early offense is going to be key in today's matchup. As I mentioned, the Matadors, they turn the ball over 21 times a game. So if the Mustangs can force some turnovers, push the pace, get some quality shots, and see some stuff fall early in the game that can help propel them to a win, hopefully they can grab that lead early and keep it for the entirety of the game. A hot start will give the Mustangs the early edge and help them avoid playing catch-up later in the game. In the previous game against Fullerton, the Mustangs trailed the entire second half, and they were able to make a late-game push, but they fell just short after a missed 3 that would have tied the game up at the buzzer.
To mitigate the problem of playing catch-up, the Mustangs need to focus on getting off to a strong start and maintaining control throughout the game, meaning taking care of the ball, establishing a strong offense, and getting to a hot start early in the game.
As I mentioned, Mustangs currently hold that 8th spot in the tournament. 7 games remaining. They want to try to win as many as they can to either solidify the 8th seed or even move up a little bit and have a little bit of an easier road. The top 4 teams get a bye, and they can still get to one of those top 4 spots. So that could be big for them to get a bye in the first round and get a little bit of a break. Well, that's going to do it for our show. The Mustangs versus the Matadors right here at Cal Poly in the Mott Athletic Center. Going to start in about 55 minutes. So thank you so much for tuning in to Mustang Game Day. I'm Ryan Giacomini.
And I'm Jocelyn Jimenez. And make sure to stick around for next game day. It'll be on March 1st for Cal Poly men's basketball against Cal State Bakersfield. But for now, make sure to go follow us on Instagram at CP Mustang Sports. Thanks.